Hey guys, Eric here, and I went to a new out and about toy show, small local con, and stick around to see what I grabbed at this first time visiting show. Hey guys, Eric at SideQuest Comics, and today I am in Kenosha, Wisconsin again, and it is for the K-Town Toy and Collectible Show. They have some inside dealers and some outside dealers because it's so nice out. So let's head inside and see what I can find for comics.
Okay. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? But I have one. Yeah.
Oh, go back. think it's west. Okay guys, I'm all done with the K-Town Toy and Collectible show. We're at the Moose Lodge actually in Kenosha. I filled up my bag with a bunch of stuff, so we will head home and I'll bust into this bag and show you guys what I got. Well, welcome back guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that footage of me walking around for the first time at the show. This was the K-Town Toy and Collectible show. This is kind of a part 2 of a video I did a couple weeks ago where I decided while I was there to do the 10 for 10 challenge and go through some of the dollar bins that I saw. Now, this is, as you saw in the video, predominantly it was a toy convention. There was a lot of Star Wars and G.I. Joe and stuff like that, especially Star Wars, because I think this was on official Star Wars Day. And, you know, some of it was hard to resist. I did manage to pick up a G.I. Joe figure, got a good deal on it. And I'll admit, some of it was, if you guys can see it, it's for the big crocodile. Oh, come on. I needed a crocodile figure. And I also picked up, you know, some comic book related stuff. I got an Alan Scott Green Lantern back there. I think he was like $10, but that is actually not why I went there. I went there thinking that there's going to be some dealers there that has some comic books. And I did grab a big stack of comic books. Some of the dealers that I saw there, I was familiar with. I've seen them at other local shows. I really like these small shows because you do get to know some of the dealers that you see. You see them over and over again at these other shows. And sometimes they kind of recognize you. You can strike up a conversation with them, get to know them. And some of them even will start to cater to, the people that go to these shows because they see them a lot and they know what they like. So they'll bring books that, they're interested in type of thing. Like I think one particular one said to me before that if there was something I was interested, just let him know. He doesn't do a lot of, big shows because, it's kind of a hobby to do the shows for him. So he brings them, from show to show, and he's more than willing to set them aside for you, which is very cool that some of the dealers do stuff like that. But yeah, I walking around, as you saw, there's a lot to look at, a lot of toys, like I said. First time visiting this one, so I'm gonna probably start doing this one a little bit more. Like I said, I like these small shows. I like the intimacy of it and getting to know the different vendors and stuff like that. And like I said, I did find a pretty good stack of stuff there. So You know, a couple dealers, I didn't get a chance to walk around all of it because I was trying to film, and you get kind of sucked into talking to people and stuff like that. But I did go through a lot of bins that I didn't know the dealers, so I found some cool stuff. Some of it, in the beginning, was a dealer that was kind of helping run the entrance where people come in and they pay their, I think it was like $2 to get in. And he had some stuff there. So he had stuff that I went through right away. Some of it wasn't priced, and he gave me a little bit of a deal. And we'll get into that when we go table down. So you know what? Why don't we do that? We'll go table down so you guys can get a good look of what I got. And we'll go over it and just kind of talk about some of it. So let's go ahead and go down and go over this big old stack. All right, guys, the first little stack I want to start with is a Moon Knight set that I picked up right when I was walking in. I found a couple boxes that a dealer had. He was actually helping out run the show and taking admission tickets and whatnot. But I found in there this Moon Knight series. It's from Volume 5. And I dug through and I found some basic fillers. This is number 1. That I got. This series, Volume 5, ran from 2006 to 2009. And I got a couple different ones for fillers, basically. This written by Charlie Houston and David Finch. And this was, I think, a key series for David Finch in just Moon Knight in general, too. They changed Moon Knight quite a bit in this series. So, yes, I got number 1 here, Moon Knight. I already had one, but this one was a little bit nicer copy than what I had, so I picked it up. They had number 2, really fantastic art on here that David Finch did. And number 7 with Spidey. I think a big key part in this issue is that Moon Knight takes down a villain, like a street thug, and he kind of goes extreme, and the Spidey's just like, whoa, 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 what's going on here? So it's kind of the first time we see the brutality, I think, of Moon Knight, how he just doesn't care type of thing. He's taking them down one way or another. And then we got number 8 here with Captain America on the cover and Moon Knight. A little tie into him being a former Avenger. And then this one, number 16, was they had to change a little bit. Mike Benson was writing it at this time, and the art inside was Mark Texeira. And the cover on this one was Arthur Sudam. I believe I'm saying his name right, but he is responsible and well known for the Marvel Zombie series with his painterly style that he puts on the cover. So that was just a little bit of Moon Knight that I picked up, but I also picked up some other ones at this dealer. So let's jump into the next little stack that I got. And this one is actually a little bit of some Captain America. So first one I got here, Captain America. This is some more fillers for me. This is from Volume 5, which was the volume that we first saw the Winter Soldier. Now, Volume 5 ran from 2005 to 2011. It was about 70 issues. And this one is number 14 here. I think the first appearance of Winter Soldier was number 6, just so you guys know. But yeah, number 14 here. Ed Brubacher and Steve Epting was the artist on this. And this particular issue was the origin of the Winter Soldier. So very keen to pick it up. I'm not a huge Captain America guy, but I do like reading this comic once in a while. And this series was a very big moment where we first get with the Winter Soldier. So, and I had a bunch of them that I got in inherited basically. So I kind of wanted to keep working on the series. Now, number 16 was the next one I got for the Captain America. Same volume, same writer and cover artist. And this one is actually the first appearance of Sin. Okay, and then we have number 19 next. Very cool cover. And this one is the first cameo appearance of the Red Skull, a.k.a. Alexander Lukin at this point. And this is kind of building up to a big storyline. It's number 25, which is the death of Captain America. And in 34 later in the series, we see Bucky Barnes take over as Cap for the rest of the series, I think. So kind of a big series for Captain America. A lot of big moments happened in this. This was, like I said, early 2000s. If you guys are interested in this Captain America and these storylines, 2005, 2011. So look it up if you see it. Pick them up. Like I said, these were in the bins. And I got a couple more from this dealer that I wanted to go over with you guys. So let's keep going. Now, the next one, he had a bunch of this volume of Incredible Hulk. This is volume 2, came out about 2003. Now, this one, I'll admit, I got just because of the cover. This was a cover by paying homage to Where the Wild Things Are. Really cool. This is Carrie Andrews that did the cover. And I love how we got little Bruce Banner here. And then we have both sides of the Hulk. We have the Green Hulk and the Gray Hulk. So I thought it was a really cool cover to get. I don't even think it's a variant cover. No, it's a regular cover that they had at that series. So, yeah, just like I said, it's purely a cover buy. So Incredible Hulk number 49. Very cool cover. And then the last one I found at this dealer, and I've been hunting for this one forever. This is number 17 of Elektra. This is Elektra Volume 2. Came out in 2003. And yes, this was the last one I needed for a 35-issue run. Very cool covers. I think the covers were by Greg Horn. I think he did almost all the covers in this series. Very almost photorealistic of this. It's during the time period where they were doing a lot of Marvel Knights. And I think there was an Emma Frost and a Mystique series that was very similar in this style, very photorealistic. And I think I've seen actually some points where they have Elektra posed on the cover that they've actually had to censor it a little bit because it's a little bit too revealing for the little kids. So, yeah, last one I finally completed. So this is a quest complete of Elektra. This was one that I inherited. I had a whole bunch of them, but it had some holes in it. So this was the last one to finish off the run. Now, and that dealer that I got all these, these Moon Knights and Captain America and Hulk and Elektra from, he actually just got these in, so he didn't have them priced. He threw out a price per issue at me, and I took it. It was like $2 an issue. So I don't think that was too bad for some of these for $2. I mean, considering that I know these Moon Knights can bring in a pretty penny if you buy them online and stuff like that. So I was more than happy to say, yeah, $2, whatever. I think it ended up being about $20-some for the whole little bundle here. So all in all, I think it was some good pickups. I filled some holes, and hey, I finished a run on there. So let's go on to some more that I got from another dealer. Okay, so I got a couple here from another dealer that had just dollar comics there. And actually, a couple weeks ago when I did my 10 for 10, I completely forgot that I had these in the pile as contenders for the 10 for 10. So whatever, the ones that I showed you all came from one dealer, and that was fine, I guess. So let's go ahead and go through these. Like I said, these were all $1. And the first one is another cover buy. I couldn't resist it. Kind of cool. It is a Space Family Robinson Lost in Space, number 35. I actually had a hard time figuring out what number this was. But this is 1969 as Western Publishing, or Gold Key, as they are better known as. And this one is titled Space Giants. Yeah, I got this for $1. I mean, it presents good, right, guys? And I mean, it's just some classic sci-fi art. I guess that's the Space Giant there. And I mean, it's just that 60s sci-fi. It kind of interests me a little bit of just that is where the mindset and the artist and creativity was for when it came to sci-fi in the 60s was kind of at this point. So this is a little bit of like a slice of history of what people thought of sci-fi at that time. So very cool book. I picked it up just for the cover, but I'm going to read it, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. So the next one I got from this dealer is another last issue I needed for a run. This is Justice number 20. This is part of Marvel's New Universe that came out in the late 80s. This one in particular came out in 1988. And yeah, this was a 32-issue run. last one I needed. I think almost every issue of this Justice series, actually pretty much most of the new universe, I got for $1. I found them in dollar bins. So, they weren't super popular. I'm surprised it went to 32 issues, to tell you the truth, because some of the other New Universe ones ended a little bit sooner than that. But this was actually written by Peter David, and Lee Weeks was the artist on this. So, I mean, if anything, it's $1. I'll read it, see if I enjoy the storyline. Actually, now, since I had the last one, because I'm kind of a stickler for it, I like reading from start to finish. So now I can just plow through the whole series and see if it's actually any good. I'm kind of feeling like it might not be, but you know what? It'd still be a good read. So, anyway, that's Justice number 20, the last one. Quest complete there. And then next up here, we have a series that was one of my favorites as a kid. I discovered this because it's so different. And this is Strike Force Moriarty. This is number 11. And I also found number 12. So for $1, I got these $2 each to fill some holes. And this is a series that I have 11 left to finish this series. It wasn't a very long series. It went into the 20s. Peter B. Gills was the writer on this, and Brent E. Anderson. And actually, what I think is kind of neat is Wills Portacio did some of the art on some of these early books, and there are some other artists. I think Silvestri might have done some of the covers. So you see some of those early 80s artists right before they blew up, and got super popular. But yeah, I needed these for the run. And I mean, it's a very interesting storyline. If you guys never check this out, I see them in the dollar bins all the time. At least pick up number 1 or 2, the first couple, read it, see if you want it, because it's kind of interesting. The whole premise is that there's aliens that come to the Earth, and scientists discover that there's certain humans that have a gene in them that they can trigger, and they basically become super powered beings, and they kind of build a force up to combat these aliens that are coming down. The catch is, by doing this, your lifespan is shortened to a year. But doing this, they offer them their families. Basically, they're set for life. They can live for free, have anything they want. You get kind of like a free pass for your family if you do this for them. So it's kind of interesting series. It's very different from the superhero world. I can't highly suggest this one enough. If you guys see it, pick some of them up and check it out. Very fun series. That's one of my favorites from as a kid. That was different from the superheroes. All right, so like I said in some of the intro, I didn't look around at everything because there's quite a few. I ended up spending a lot of time talking to some of the guys that I did know, and this is from a dealer that I've bought stuff from a couple times. This is my buddy Steve. He always shows up at some of these shows, the local ones, and he always has some pretty cool stuff. And this was a fairly affordable price pickup. I mean, it's in really good shape, but this is Avengers 273 from 1986, and this is part of their 25th anniversary covers. I think I did just show this off in a post on Instagram, because I just started questing after all these. There's about 30 of them originally from the 80s, from 86, and I have about half of them so far. So this is one that I need to pick up. This cover, though, I don't know why they picked the Black Knight to be on this. I mean, granted, Captain America was already on his own cover with the border, so I understand that. But they could have picked Captain Marvel. She was fairly a new character at this time, so there's a little more excitement in there. I don't know. The cover, I think, is cool art, though. It's by John Buscema, that I really love, who did Conan and Wolverine Volume 2. And then the writer on this was Roger Stern. So, this was just one that I wanted to get towards that collection. I'm still hunting some of them. I've been coming up dry lately on those. So this was the last one that I got. So I'll have to just keep looking. All right, and then going through Steve's bins, he had some cool ones that I was like, oh, I need that one. This is Submariner. number 36. You can see the price that I paid on there probably, but kind of affordable book. This one came out in 1971, written by Roy Thomas, and art is Sal Buscema. It's a little bit different from the last one. We had John doing the cover. This one we have the brother Sal, and this one, yeah, very cool cover. Like I said, I just needed it to fill a hole in the run. I have a lot more of these to go. I've been buying these just in not low grade, but fairly below mid grade, just because they're affordable. Then this one was $5. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's quite a glare, but very cool art. The cover, I like the cover with him holding, the damsel, and it's got a lot of action going on here in the background. So very cool art for the early 70s. And yeah, I see a Submariner that for that price that I need, I'm gonna pick it up. All right, so I was forcing myself to go through the DC bins. I've been doing a lot of that lately, and I picked this one up mainly because of cover again, I think. But this is Superman Volume 1, 236. Came out in 1971, also as, just like the Submariner before. This issue actually has 2 stories in it, which is interesting, written by Dennis O'Neil. And the reason I got this, again, is the cover because it is Neil Adams. I love Neil Adams' art. He did a lot of stuff for Green Lantern, which was a big draw for me. And one of the things that I think that drew this to me is the fact that, yeah, it's Superman, but you never see Superman with like demons or devils and stuff on the cover. So it's very different for Superman to see him like this. Usually he's fighting aliens or he's fighting super villains and stuff like that. Never kind of the mystical side of things. So I thought it was interesting to see him on this. And like I said, yeah, it's a little rough, but that's okay. I can still read it. I can still enjoy it. And like I said, I just love the cover. So let's go to the next one. All right. So speaking of Green Lantern, here's a Green Lantern I saw in his bins. I couldn't resist it. It was $12, I think. And I mean, it presents good. The greens are really nice and bright. The reds are real nice and bright. But this is Green Lantern number 33 from 1964. I've been trying to pick up early Green Lanterns when I see them from Volume 2, just because anything from the 60s is going to be a little rough to find if, in kind of a lower price range. So yeah, the spine is a little beat up. It says that it's got loose center cuts, so the staples are loose, I guess is what that means. But that just kind of a cool cover. I like this cover. This is Gil Kane on the cover, and Gardner Fox was the writer of Green Lantern at this time. And it does have this villain here is Dr. Light appearance. I don't really recall if he made it out of the 60s. He may have appeared in some Green Lantern, most likely in the 70s when he was running with Green Arrow. But like I said, very cool, crisp cover with the colors and stuff. I think it presents good. Like I said, the spine's a little bit but I can still read it. I can enjoy it. And it's a filler in the collection. Eventually I can always replace it if I find a nicer copy and I really want a nicer copy. So, but yeah, that's Green Lantern. I'm slowly ticking away at these Green Lanterns. This one is a big reason why I went to see this dealer, Steve, at the show. He had a whole bunch of this Tomb of Dracula in his collection that he got as a collection. He said he almost got a full run, so I've been kind of getting these here and there when I see him. But this is a low number. It's a real high grade number 4 of Tomb of Dracula. Tomb of Dracula here came out in 1972. Written by Archie Goodwin, and Gene Colan is the cover artist on that. Look at that, just how nice it is. I mean, it's really crisp. I couldn't pass this one up. I saw this like one other time when he was at a show, and I saw him, and I was just like, oh man, that looks really good. And I needed these low ones. I think now I just need like 1, 7, and then I need like I think 10 and 12 type of thing. So I don't need too many of those under 10 books of this. Some of them I got are pretty rough. I do still need that number 1, but I did get the big one. I got the Blade first appearance, but this one it's really nice. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger and get this one. Very cool. I mean, Bride of Dracula. It's classic early 70s, cover art. And yeah, it's just really cool. So number 4, Tomb of Dracula in the collection. Here's another one that I was going to see Steve for. I've been kind of on a kick of these magazine ones. Let me do that so you can see the full cover. And this one is Marvel Preview Presents Blade. And this is Blade the Vampire Slayer. So this is number 3, came out in 1975. This is another one I've been staring at for a while at his booth when he's at different shows. And this was one of those early Blade appearances that I wanted to get. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of these magazine size stuff, whether it's Savage Tales or Savage Conan or Vampirilla. I think he had some creepy and eerie that I was looking at. So good prices. I think this was like $30 he had. Not bad price. I mean, it's in fair good shape. And what surprised me when I looked this up, I did not know this, but this is written by Chris Claremont. Yes, X-Men fame. And the cover is by Gray Morrow. And it does have a key. This is the first appearance of Afari. I don't know who that character is. I have to read this one yet. But very cool pickup for my magazine collection that's slowly growing. I actually recently had to go get a magazine size box to put these in because I've been getting so many of these. And the fact that I found a bunch of my old magazines from the 90s that, some were Dark Horse, some were just like magazine comic scene type things that I wanted to put in some kind of protection. So they actually fit the same boards and bags, the magazine size. So my magazine collection is slowly growing. So this is another one for that. Okay, last up, I did not expect this. And when I saw this, I was like, oh, baby, I have to get this. And this is Star Wars by Marvel, number 68, came out in 1983. Now, the art on this is Gene Day. Very, very cool, iconic cover with Boba Fett there. And this is a big key for the Star Wars comics. This is where we get the origin of Boba Fett. And it is also the very first mention of the Mandalorian. So that is something they didn't do in the movies. That was actually came from the comic book. So very big book. This book can go for some decent prices, but this one's kind of a lower grade book, and I'm okay with that. It's in the collection. I have it. I ended up not spending as much as a higher grade. And I've always say I'm kind of a mid-grade guy. I like mid-grades, and I will go low grades as long as the book is in decent presenting shape, which this one is. I mean, it has a little nick up here, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I can live with that. The rest of the book is fairly clean. It's got nice bright yellow. There's no stains on it. It could use a press. I mean, I don't know if I'm holding it here at an angle, you can see it. It's got a little bit of rippling. And I'll do that. I mean, the staples are a little bit loose, but to me, it's okay. I did not expect to find this, so I was just kind of like, yeah, it's a lower grade. I guess I can shell out some money for that. But yeah, kind of a big book that I was not expecting, but I'm happy to have it. Number 68 of Star Wars with Boba Fett's origin. All right, guys, that was all the books there. So let's go ahead and go up and we will close this one out and we'll discuss a little bit more about the little small show. Well, there you go, guys. That was a pretty good stack of stuff that I got at the K-Town Collectible Show. Some surprises. I did not expect to see some of these, but I got some cool favorites, I ended up finding. I'm still working on those Draculas, but yeah, it's really cool. And, the toy shows, I like the shows that are have a little bit of everything for the collectible because you never know what you're going to, find at these shows. I went just for comics, but I ended up finding some action figures that were pretty cool that I got some good deals on because I think I got these at the end of the show. So the dealers were, more willing to give you kind of a deal to, so they didn't have to take it home, pack it up type of thing. So it's always fun to go to those kind of shows and see what you can find that's collectible. Maybe it's something you used to collect, maybe something you kind of been, dipping your toes in a little bit, but always fun to see different stuff at the shows. But yeah, that was the K-Town Collectibles Toy and Collectible Show. They do it like every 2 months. I'll have to get on their Facebook page and see when they do it, because I think there's one more show, but they do some kind of different shows. Like they do I think let's see, what is it? I think they do like a paper show, um, Paper City Toy and Collectible Show. That's a little bit further north of me in Wisconsin. So I'll have to see what other shows that they have organized and try to check them out. But that's all I got for you guys for this big old stack. If you could, please go down and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate that. And leave me a comment. I like hearing what you guys think of the pickups that I had. And maybe something you saw in the footage that I should have got that I missed. And also, while you're at it, head over to Instagram. Give me a follow and a like on some of the posts there. I'm posting, I try to post regularly during the week, and I have different theme posts and different mail calls and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys can check it out and you'll see something on there and you'll enjoy. But that's all I got for you guys for this haul video of me being out and about at a little local con show. I like these little small shows, so hopefully there's some more coming up before the big ones are coming up. Well, until next time, guys, when you're out there checking out kind of a different type of collectible show, whether it's comic shows or a toy show, you never know what you're going to find. Happy questing out there, you guys, and we will talk to you next time.